box office. Avengers Endgame is officially number 1 of all time at the box office. No, that is not adjusted for inflation, in which case it would not be in number 1. But, you know, everything costs more these days, and less people go to the movies these days. So Avengers is officially statistically king. It only took a decade of Marvel movies as well as a re-release for Endgame to take down Avatar. Now, will Avatar 2 reclaim its spot? Not a snowball's chance in hell, in my opinion. But that's not what we're really here to talk about in this conversation. What we're here to talk about is escape room box office. What is really the line in the sand? What is the goal to achieve to when it comes to escape room box office? Because it kind of seems right now like for blockbuster films, if you're not breaking $1 billion, you were a flop. Now that doesn't, that's obviously also budget related. Like if it costs $50 million to make a movie and it goes on to make $500 million, I'm sure they're happy. But as far as like trade publications go, if you're not breaking $1 billion, why bother? Yeah. It almost seems like, I know there was even talk that like if Spider-Man Far From Home didn't break $1 billion, that Sony was going to consider that a failure to not keep the character moving through Marvel. So that's kind of the movie line in the sand. Did a little bit of research because I was interested to see where Broadway shows would list. And for a Broadway show, a successful run in a 1-year period is about $55 million. Basically doing, give or take, about $1.5 million a week for a very successful Broadway show.
Wow.
Yeah. $1.5 million a week. Escape room owners out there, are any of you doing $1.5 million a year? And keep in mind, that's not your total company revenue. That's one experience. Because, like, for example, the Aladdin play, $1.25 million a week. That's one location. Broadway. Now, granted, different demographics, different areas. I'm sure if Disney's Aladdin Broadway show was playing in Wisconsin, it probably wouldn't be doing $1.2 million a week. However, it doesn't really matter. Anyone, if they have the revenue to open, could go open on Broadway with an escape room. Maybe someone has already, for all I know. There's definitely escape rooms on the Vegas Strip. So, where does that land? Time to start writing a Voltron musical. I'm not going to go see it. I have no interest in Voltron. Sorry. But I mean, realistically, where is the goal point? Where is the line in the sand? And this kind of keeps going back to the discussions we've had in the past about where do we group escape rooms? Are they on that level, or are they on the level of a paint and sip?
I mean, I think you also have to look at the ticket prices. Like Broadway musicals are hitting like about $200 a ticket.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot different and plus the escape room like costs vary so much across the country that it's hard to kind of put one number on the entire country.
But why? Why, Kristina?
I mean, I'm sure Broadway tickets in like Wisconsin cost less than they do at New York Times Square, but
like why are we the only people charging $50 a ticket? Why isn't there anyone charging $100 a ticket? Why aren't people charging $200 a ticket like a Broadway show?
It's not that popular yet because it's still growing in popularity, but it still isn't completely like my parents had no idea what an escape room was.
Comment in, people. I'd love to hear some opinions on this because we have competitors in the Poconos charging $10 a ticket. We have competitors in New Jersey that charge $20.
Pay for what you get.
Sure, but there's also that problem element of people that still don't understand that we're different companies.
Yeah.
Trapdoor has gone into a little bit different pattern where we're now marketing each game as its own location, flat out. Like if you go onto Google, the Greatest Freak Show Musical Escape is listed as our Morristown location. It's not Trapdoor, it's the Greatest Freak Show 2-hour musical escape. If you look us up for the Poconos, you're not going to find Trapdoor Poconos, you're going to find Cure Z from Trapdoor Escape Room. You know, it's the theme is taking center stage, and we're letting the company be more of a production credit because it's making it easier for us to market and make it more of an event production. And that's helping us warrant the price because people, you know, are seeing it differently. Oh, Big Booty. Welcome back, Big Booty. Another big reason as to why Broadway is more expensive is because of the time of the experience. Normally, Broadway shows are 3 hours, and escape room is normally around 1. Fair. But even if you take the escape room's price and multiply it by 3, you ain't anywhere near it. Because you are so much larger and your experiences are longer, but people group you together in their minds. Sure. Yeah, and if you take, you know, you're moving your beyond your roots as an escape room. But like, for example, if you even take Cure Z or Freak Show at $50 a head, and you move that to a 3-hour show, you're really at that point talking $75 a ticket. We're still not there.
Yeah. No one's gonna pay $150 for an escape room right now.
So, you know, it's like, how do you get there? Because realistically, you know, no one has come along yet that's going to be that multi-billion-dollar escape room company. It's probably going to be us, but no one's there yet.
Yeah.
And no one's anywhere even close. I would argue that there's no one even touching that range yet. You know, we haven't, quite honestly, because as soon as we opened Cure Z, we were jumping into development on Freak Show like mad crazy. I haven't looked at Cure Z's Pocono numbers to that extent yet, but when Cure Z was in Red Bank, Cure Z did about $250,000 a year. And I remember going to the Room Escape conference and everybody was like, oh my god, because no one was even remotely close. $250,000 is a drop in the bucket to theater. They're pulling $2 million a week. Some of them. Most of them are more like $1 million a week. Few of the lesser titles that are not like as well known are like $600,000 a week, $700,000 a week. And then the other element is how many people could play an escape room at a time. You know, we can do 16 to 20 people at a time for Cure Z or Freak Show, but most escape rooms are like 4 to 6 people per hour.
Yeah.
And to a degree, I feel like there should be a much higher value on a privatized experience like that. Something that you can experience with so few people should be worth more because you're paying for exclusivity. What do you think about the new Saw Escape in California? They charge $50 to $95 a ticket. It's a studio featured escape room. So yeah, I agree with it. If only it was good. Actually, there's somebody. Andrew, go get Sam.
Yes. I will do that.
We need Sam for this conversation.
She's gonna have some opinions on this.
I'm sure she will. Samantha, who did all of the costume and wardrobe for Freak Show and is one of our headline team members in Red Bank, she actually played the Saw Escape Room in Vegas. So let's bring her into this discussion. Now, my opinion stems from the fact of having talked to other people who played it and also hearing about how the game is facilitated, run, and how they handle their reviews. Which is basically, you get free merchandise for 5-star reviews. It's exit through gift shop, and they give you free merch at the gift shop if you give them 5-star reviews. Because apparently they're hiding like serious amounts of 1-star reviews.
Oh.
And they're killing it on ticket sales. I know that. But again, it's a studio run game. They imported all the stats right from the past movies.
Oh, that's pretty neat.
That is neat. It's almost like a museum of old Saw movies.
Yeah.
But what I do know is that the game is set up in timed increments. So, like, you go into Section 1, you have X amount of time to solve the puzzles therein. If you fail, you're still ushered to part 2. You're not like kicked out of it or forced to hang out. You're just ushered into the next zone, and then the next zone, and the next zone, and then you're out. And unless you go back to Vegas, you don't see what you missed. We're talking about the Sawscape.
Yeah.
It came up in discussion. So, so everybody, Sam, you may remember her as Tina the Mermaid and Costume and Wardrobe on Freak Show.
Hi again.
So here she is back again. Sam is a Vegas-obsessed individual. You'll
Yes.
notice her Chris Angel shirt that she's currently rocking at the moment. And she's going back to Vegas again in August.
Yes, at the end of August, I'm going back for a couple days.
So tell us all about the Saw Escape Room.
Well, I'm a really big fan of the Saw franchise, so when I heard that they were building it out there, first I saw at Comic-Con, right before they started building it, they had like a preview of it, which unfortunately I didn't get to do, but everyone said it was cool. So then when they built it, right away I booked tickets for like the Halloween season to go out there, and I absolutely loved it. But like you were saying, there's 7 different rooms that you go through. Each one I think has like a 10 to 15 minute time limit within that room.
Right.
If you fail it, you still go throughout the game so you can see everything. But I don't remember if you had to bring anything with you to the next room.
No, you don't.
Okay. Yeah, that I didn't remember, but the set design was awesome. It's actually Tobin Bell's voice over the loudspeakers.
Yep. Benefit of being a studio project, you actually get the actors.
Yeah, it was really cool. You have a scare guy in the room with you, and then at the very end, he's locked up in the bathroom, which is where the first one takes place. So.
Which was actually funny because when Frank and I wrote up the experience for the show Dexter, I wanted access to the cast.
Oh, that would have been cool.
They were terrified of having that cast members actually go live in any capacity.
Really?
So, what if they don't stay in character? It could flub the whole show. Not really, but yeah, we couldn't get Michael C. Hall or Jennifer Carpenter or anybody connected to the experience. So,
That's unfortunate.
everything had to kind of be very hands-off main characters. And Homeland was the same thing. Which, I was a huge Dexter fan, not a huge Homeland fan, so I didn't care so much about Homeland. But a lot of what we wrote for Homeland you could see in our Puzzles and Corks national security game, streaming live now on Trapdoor Escape Stream. So all in all, though, you really enjoyed the Saw Escape.
I loved it.
Are you going to play it again?
No, we're going to try and do the basement. Just me and one friend are going out there this time, and he wanted to do another escape room because he did the Boogeyman. He loved it. So he had said to me, let's do one while we're out there, and I said, okay. So I just looked up, top-rated escape rooms in Las Vegas, and the basement was the first one that came up.
Cool.
So we're planning on doing that one when we go.
Yeah, I think we talked about this the other day.
Yeah.
I saw a whole video walkthrough of that game, unfortunately, online, but you'll have to let us know what you think when you come back.
There's a part 2 there as well. There's where you're in the basement, and then if you play part 2, you're inside the actual house.
Oh, that's interesting. So
Yeah.
they have a sequel right in the building.
Yeah.
But there's another example of a game that's been running for years, but because of its location, they're able to keep it running.
Yeah.
Okay, where are we at on fabric? Did we run out?
No, we did the whole room.
Awesome!
So now it's ceiling time.
Okay,
So
cool.
burgundy?
Yeah, no, not burgundy, the flat red.
Oh, the one that I used for the curtain.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
So, that's kind of our take on the subject. I'd love to hear all of yours. But, where do we set the mark? And, as a result, are other companies just not charging enough? Do we need to start, as an entire industry, pushing people to start raising the prices? Because people are paying for exclusivity. And, they don't know what they're getting, so to speak. So we have to start, I think, actively as an industry educating the customers a bit more. Because, Freak Show's selling out, so we're not having an issue getting $50 a ticket. And QRZ has bookings today, so we're getting it there. But I do think the whole industry needs to start upping the price points, and if they don't feel like their content is worth the price point, then maybe they got to start thinking about upping their content. So that's my opinion. We'll talk about it in future episodes. So, and we hope you'll join us next time, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't below. Like, comment, subscribe.